All right. Thanks everyone for joining. My name is Akin Oladeji, and I'm the founder of Learn with Pride. And Learn with Pride, we've been going strong for the last going to 4 years now. And what we do is to help people that wants to transition from non-IT background into IT, regardless of your background. We help you to make the journey um, a very smooth one. So what we do is we offer most IT courses, ranging from project management to business analysis, data analytics, software automation testing, Scrum Master, product owner, and DevOps engineer. Those are the courses we run. And uh, for this particular one, today's session will focus on data analysis. And why data analysis? Why considering a career in data analysis? I've got a few slides to share, and also I'll call on the facilitator later on that will share more light into the role of a data analyst, what you should expect on the journey, and all of that. But before then, since post-COVID, it's make it so much, it has made the market so much that the recruiters now, they can recruit from any part of the world. You don't need to be in the UK, you don't need to be in the US. You might be living in Nigeria and you can secure a remote job in Switzerland. You might be living in Ghana and secure a role, in the UK. So it has make, since after COVID, it has made that possible. And the reason why many people are considering a career change, especially when it comes to data analysis. And as a company, what we do is, we don't only teach you about the theoretical aspects, we get your hands dirty as well, because that is what we believe. We believe practice make perfect, and little will you remember about any theoretical aspect. But when you get your hands dirty, when you do it yourself, you'll be able to remember what you do yourself. So the data analytics training, it's a 4 month journey with us. It's a twice a week, and 4 industry standard tools will be covered as well. Talking about SQL, Python, Power BI, and Tableau. So each month will focus on each tool, and at the end of that month, a project will be undertaken based on the tool that you've been taught or you've been worked on. So at the end of your 4 months journey, you have 4 different projects in your portfolio that you can showcase to employers, because the way we equip you is at the end of the journey, you should be in a position whereby you can compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for 2, 3, 4 years. That is the way we equip you. That is the way the process works. But we can only do our own bits. Bulk of the work lies in you as well. So as long as you devote your time into the process every single day, I can assure you that at the end of the journey, you will testify for having a good job. Anyway, all right. So I have a few slides I want to share quickly with you before calling on um, the facilitator that will be taking you on the journey. Please, if we are not talking, can we mute our mic, please? All right, thanks. About data analysis, I'll leave this to Samuel to talk more about all this one. But let me go to um, why a data analyst. As you can see, the average salary for a data analyst, I'm using UK, but this is worldwide anyway. I'm just using UK as a point of reference. In the UK, the average salary, the session is being recorded already, so who is asking for the recording or for it to be recorded? It's already been recorded. The average salary of a data analyst in the UK is around 65,000. And this is something that you can get as well. As I said earlier on, the way the course will shape you will put you in a position whereby you can be applying for such roles. And also in the UK, it's one of the shortage of skilled worker in the UK. So take, for example, you start applying for jobs to companies who can give you that sponsorship visa. If you are shortlisted and if they like you and offer you the role, they will apply for a sponsorship visa for you. That is what that means. But even aside that, you can, anywhere you are, you can still secure a remote job. You know, the most important to companies now is, can you deliver regardless of the country that you are you good enough and can you deliver? So that's some of the advantages. Again, you can work remotely anywhere in the world, as I mentioned earlier on, and also is in great demand. Most organizations require a data analyst, you know, and that is why this is the right time, this is the best time to take the advantage and, you know, you to get on the role and acquire the role, acquire the skills, acquire the experience so that you too, you can, you know, you can command what you get, the money you get. So if you come on board on this 4 months journey, what will be the roadmap? How will the roadmap be like? Let's consider that quickly. The first one is the training. As I said, the training is going to be a 4 months training, which will cover 4 industry standard tools from SQL to Power BI to Python to Tableau. And the facilitator that will be taking you on the journey has got many years of experience when it comes to data analysis, and also it works in that industry. So he knows what he's talking about, and you just have to follow put, you know, if you're on board with him. All right, the next one after the training is the project. As I mentioned earlier on, it's a 4-month practical training, but at the end, and each month will focus on each tool. And at the end of that month, you undertake a project based on that tool that you just completed. So that means at the end of the 4 months, you have 4 different projects in your portfolio that you can show to recruiters, you can show to agencies, to prove that you've done the work and you know what you're talking about. So when the training and the project is now done, you know how to perform a role of a data analyst, you know, you've got your hands dirty, you are well equipped. This is another important aspect of the journey, optimization of your brand. You know, you need to optimize your brand. And when I mean optimize your brand, that means your CV, your LinkedIn. If your CV has to be revamped, you need to revamp it. If your LinkedIn, if you need to optimize your LinkedIn, you have to do it, because if you are not visible in the market, you know, nobody will see you, no agency will see you. And if they don't see you, then you won't get calls. You'll be wondering, why am I not getting calls? I now have the experience, I have the knowledge, I can do the job, but I'm not getting calls. It's because you are not visible in the market. So this is very, very important. It is as important as the training itself and the project, you know. So your CV is something that you can put in mind that after the training, it has to be done. And we work with one of the best in the industry as well. On Instagram, their name is Career Deck Limited. You can check them out as well. When it comes to CV revamp, LinkedIn optimization, they will do it for you at a very reduced rate. All right. After optimization of your brand, then comes you applying for jobs. Now you've acquired the knowledge, you've done the project, you've done your CV, you've optimized your LinkedIn, then you start applying for jobs. Even if you don't apply for jobs because you are visible, Recruiters will reach out to you, let's say like on LinkedIn itself, because they can see you, they can see your skills, they can see what you've done. They'll reach out to you and you'll be getting calls, which is what we want. We want you to be getting calls, because from those calls, surely you secure an interview. And what this is another thing that we offer: interview preparation. So when you secure that interview, we don't leave you alone. You know, we do the CV, we do the interview preparation with you, so that you can ace the interview. So quickly, let me just go over. I think I didn't really say much about it. What if you come on board? What the package entails. So your practical training, your working on the project, mentorship, we support you as well. Interview preparation, then we give you a reference, a work reference for the 4-month duration that you are with us. So you can put that on your CV and, you know, you can showcase that yourself as well. But aside that as well, all our courses are going through accreditation at the moment, meaning, I'm just trying to open it up, meaning you get a certification from this body called CPD at the end of the course as well. And it's a recognized body, and the certificate is recognized worldwide as well. So currently we are going through accreditation with this company. As you can see, we're already listed on their website already. You can go there as well and search for us. You'll see us there as well. So this is another advantage. This will really boost your CV. This will really boost your knowledge. This will really boost your profile as well. So we always work towards making sure that we, you know, we deliver the best and we give you the very quality that your money that you paid for. These are some of the samples of data analyst roles. As you can see, the first one is paying between 60,000 and 80,000, while the second one is paying up to 50,000. These are some of the jobs you can apply to, whether in pounds, whether in dollars, you know. Since you have the knowledge, there's nothing stopping you. The only thing stopping you is yourself. Only if you don't allow yourself to go for it. But I could assure you, at the end of the 4 months, all these rules, you'll be able to apply for them. As I said, I'm using UK as a point of reference because that's where I am. But it doesn't matter whether it's in Nigeria, it's in US, it's in Ghana, you know. Anywhere you are looking for job, remote job, you can be rest assured that you get really well paid. All right. Just about finishing my own slide now before I call on Samuel that will be taking you on the journey. So for today, the cost, I'm sure probably most of us are aware of the cost anyway. The cost for the 4 months is £599, right? But if you are subscribing, the cost is actually starting on the 2nd, that is on Thursday. So if you want to start on the 2nd of February, right, on Thursday, that's on Thursday. So if you want to take part in this journey, if you want to come on board up till Wednesday, I'll be giving a 40% off, 40% discount for anyone that wants to enroll between now and the 3rd of February, that is Wednesday. I'll be giving a 40% discount. Let me even write it down. Yeah, so I'll be giving a 40% discount for anyone who is interested to come on board. And that is from today. If you want to enroll from today till Wednesday, it's starting on Thursday. So you have till Wednesday if you want to come on board. If you want to enroll, you can take a screenshot of or note this number down. You can WhatsApp this number if you want to have a further conversation or you have any questions you want to ask regarding the process, regarding anything. you can WhatsApp that number. So for now, if you have any question, I'll take your questions after the facilitator has spoken or finished with his slide. So if you have any question, you can put it in the chat box or you can raise your hand and I will surely call you afterwards. So for now, this is where I'll be stopping for now. And I'd like to introduce you to the facilitator that will be taking you on the journey. His name is Samuel, and he's got many years of experience when it comes to data analysis. All right, so Samuel, over to you. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Mr. Key. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome once again to this section. My name is Samuel. So I've been working as a data analyst for the past 7 years, and I've actually worked in different industry when it comes to data analysis. My current role, I work as a data analyst in a consulting firm where I use data analysis to reduce the risks and improve the productivity. And in all of this role, I've come to use virtually all the tools that are necessary to actually become a good analyst. So in this journey, I can tell you are in good hands. I would like to share a few slides with us. Afterward, we'll be looking into just a bit of what data analysis look like on one of the two, which is Power BI. You're welcome once again. All right, so welcome. And the first thing is this. When we talk about data analysis, everyone, I hope you can see my screen. If
Yes.
you can see, all right, good. So when we talk about data analysis, the first thing we have to get to know is understand what data really means. Because for every analysis, it is required that we understand what it is that we're analyzing. Just like for every machine, there's something that powers it. So for data analysis, data is what powers it. And as you all know, data is what powers everything that we do as a human being. Just like Jeff Renan, the CEO of LinkedIn, said, data powers everything we do. In our home, in our offices, in everything, in our environment, and in our nation, in any industry, talk about finance, health, agriculture, education, in any industry we find ourselves, everything is powered by data. Now, what is data analysis? So data analysis itself is a process which involves gathering data, because for everything, at any point where you start any analysis, the first thing you have to understand is how to gather the data, bring the data either from a primary source or from a secondary source. So data analysis involves multiple activities. And one of these activities is gathering data, then cleaning data. When we talk about cleaning data, we're trying to improve the data into a proper format in which it can be analyzed. For every data, it's always coming unclean. So it is our job as the analyst to get to understand how to clean data properly. Then after cleaning any data, it then go ahead to understanding how to organize data. When we talk about organizing data, we're trying to structure it into the best formats, put it into the right place through different structuring process, preparatory process. All of these will help us to understand how to actually go ahead to extract actionable and relevant information in order to help improve business decision. So as an analyst, you will always see yourself in the business intelligence team, because your major role as the analyst is to help the company processes through analysis. And in this case, you'll be seeing yourself getting involved in different type of analysis, which include descriptive analysis, where you look at things that have happened in the past. Another kind of analysis that you've seen yourself doing as an analyst is the diagnosis. And in this part, you definitely will be diving deeper into understanding why something happened. So you start by knowing what happened in the past, and you move to, okay, why does it happen? Then you move to the predictive. In predictive analysis, you tend to understand and seek how to predict what is likely to happen in the future. Then the other part is the prescriptive analysis. In this part, what we really get to understand as an analyst is to get to know, get to understand why something really happened. So are we together?
Yes.
All right, good. Now, why do we need to become do you need to become a data analyst? So this is just a random search from Google, and you can see transitioning to a career in data analytics can mean stable employment in high-paying industry once you have the right skill. So from this thing, which you can what I can categorically tell you is this: the jobs are there. The jobs are always there as an analyst. The moment you get the right skill, you are ready to pick up these opportunities. So the opportunities are always there, and the jobs are there. But what is not available is the right skill, and that is what you'll be getting in training with us here in Learn with Pride. So in Learn with Pride, we're putting you through a process that would equip you with the right skill in order to become a good analysis. Over time, we have helped people to actually transition, not even in UK, Nigeria, in different other continents. We have someone who just got a job at ExxonMobil that's last month in Europe, in a European country. So anywhere you are, once you get the right skill, the job will always come. As you can see there, each year, there is more demand for data analysts and scientists than there are people with the right skill to fill these roles. So let me just clear your mind. There will always be the job, regardless of the year in, year out, there will always be the job. What is missing is always the right skill. Don't be too, you might have seen maybe some news around some layoff in some tech company, in but then that is not stopping people, more jobs coming in from that angle. There are a lot of opportunities coming in every day, either as a data analyst, as a business analyst, a product manager, different, so far you are in the tech industry. And one thing is this: data analysis is one thing that brings all of this together, because everything we do practically involves data. So becoming a data analyst and getting the right skill set would put you in that space where you would see yourself picking up a good employment in a high-paying industry. Now, this is according to the World Economic Forum, Future of Jobs, and it's a report that was listed out 2022. It's always an annual report. So this is for 2022. And from this, it says data analyst and scientist has been listed as one of the top emerging jobs, followed immediately by AI, which is artificial intelligence and machine learning specialist, and big data specialist. So you see it's growing every day. So regardless of wherever industry you want to work in as a data analyst, once you have the right skill, you can actually serve in any industry, being finance, agriculture, healthcare. Everybody needs a data analyst to help improve processes. Now, about our program and how it works. So it's it's going to be a 4-month training, and in this 4 months, we'll be practically working on the 4 major tools that is actually needed to kickstart your career as a data analyst. And these tools has been categorized into the main aspects of the analysis processes, talking about the data visualization, data management, data reporting, data wrangling, data cleaning. All of these processes, once you understand how to use these 4 tools perfectly, it will establish your career as a data analyst. All right. So this is about the training. So the training will introduce you to the world of data analysis. You will learn how to go through the entire data analysis process. And it will include you understanding how to pose questions. Because for every analysis, there will always be a business problem that you want to solve, that you want to provide solution to. Excuse me. So first is to understand the business problem. Then you then go ahead to build a business objective based on the proper understanding of this problem. Then moving forward, you then go ahead to look into how to actually collect data. And this process involves data wrangling, either collecting data from site or from the company database itself, or even working directly with a spreadsheet. In this case, talking about companies that store their data in Excel format. How that you have understanding on how to fix different problems in any data set that's actually available to work with. You still understand how to explore data, find patterns in it, and find your intuition about it. All of these are practical processes that are needed to complete a proper analysis project. You will then get to understand how to draw conclusions and make predictions, and also get to understand how to communicate your findings. Because for every analysis, the last part of every analysis is for you to understand how to actually communicate your findings through to your clients or the board of trustees or the organization through a proper visualization and charts. Okay, so this is how the training will work, and this is the curriculum. You have access to data analyzing and visualization using Power BI, which is the first tool, one of the tools that are needed to become a data analyst. So Power BI is one tool that is built on Microsoft Excel that we already know. So just like we have pivot table, we have VLOOKUP and all other DAX functions and all in Excel, in Excel. We have all of these same processes in Power BI. But one good thing about Power BI that makes it more better off than Excel, which is the general tool, it's because Power BI as a tool allows us as the analysts to get to work on more data sources than we can do when using Excel. Also, in the course of the training, we'll also be working with Tableau. Tableau is a great tool, is another great tool for data visualization and analysis. Companies like Amazon base all their data visualization on Tableau. So you can see one thing you'll be getting if you learn this tool. You can see yourself picking up a good job from Amazon. or Twitter, for example. All of these companies base their data visualization on Tableau. So Tableau, through learning Tableau, you would understand how to analyze data properly and also get to do a good data visualization. Then another thing is the SQL. SQL is a language that we use in managing databases. So at this point in time, every company now have a database, either relational or non-relational, in terms of Oracle, Postgres, MySQL, Microsoft SQL. Different databases are available that we need to actually manage for companies. Call out data, store data for them, provide data securities for all these databases. And learning SQL will put you in that space, and you will then get to understand how to properly manage a database. Then another tool is Python. Python. Using Python would enable you as an analyst to understand how to perform data wrangling process, data visualization, and even data cleaning. Now, one good thing about this training is this: at the end of every tool, which is Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Python, you would have projects, real life scenario, business data to work on, to actually show how things are done in a business environment when talking about data analysis. So all of this would form together to give a proper portfolio, which you then put alongside with your CV when you're applying for jobs. And one thing I can tell you categorically is this: at the end of our training, once you follow this step properly, you can't do a week after the training before you start getting different calls from recruiters relating to jobs. All right. So for Microsoft Power BI, what you'll be learning are listed below. So you have knowledge on connecting to data, perform data transformation, talking about creating data model, because for every analysis, there has to be a model. In creating models, you are trying to create a relationship between different data. And when we talk about relationship, we are talking about what connects one table to the other. In this relationship, we are talking about either joins, we're talking about union, talking about data blending and different aspects of combining data. You will still get to understand how to build a proper visualization and how to share your insight with others in your organization. For every data analysis, it starts from collecting data down to the last aspect, which is sharing your insight. Until you can share your insight to the organization or to a layman, and for the layman to understand it properly, you have not done a good analysis. So one thing about analyzing data is for you to actually bring out all the properties in a data and turn it into a proper visualization, through charts, tables, maps, or any other visualization process. This will help you to share your insight with others in the organization. And in this end, you would be able to solve a business problem and improve the process. Because the key aspect of analysis is to reduce risks, either reduce risks and improve process, or reduce costs and improve profitability. Different ways you might want to improve your customer base. All of these relate to analysis. You need to analyze before you give a recommendation. You can't just give any recommendation. Your recommendation has to be based on analysis, a proper analysis. Now for Tableau, just like I said, it's another great tool. And I mentioned one of, like I said, companies like Amazon base their data visualization analysis majorly on Tableau. So learning Tableau, you learn how to connect to different data sources, just like we have in Power BI. They connect to web page, databases, CSV file, Excel file, JSON, and all other data sources. You understand how to clean and transform data. You understand how to combine data. When we talk about data combination, I have mentioned a few of that, talking about joins, relationship. If you're talking about joins, for example, it's more of saying we want to combine a data, this data of the same data type to itself. In a layman definition, if I'm saying, if you talk about join, for example, it's just more of you are saying we want to create a relationship between yourself and your immediate family, creating that your nuclear family, rather, that's joint. And another thing is the relationship. When we say relationship extend the combination further. So in a layman, saying you want to combine, like establish a relationship establish a connection between you and your extended family. That's relationship in the layman. And when we talk about another thing is union. We're talking about union, it's more we are combining data, smaller data of the same sources together to form just a single data. An example of data that we use union process to combine is a continuous data. So saying maybe a sales data, for example, that is broken into quarters. So if you want to combine all of these to form just a single year sales data, we have to use union. Then we have data blending, which is another way to combine data in Tableau. And when we talk about data blending in the layman, we're just talking about establishing a relationship between yourself and let's say your classmates. So the relationship between myself that I'm talking to you right now and you that are listening to me is Learn with Pride training. So if there's any connection between myself and you right now, what we'll be using is data blending. That's because we are from two different data sources. I'm connecting from somewhere else, you're connecting from somewhere. We are not related by blood. But then, because of one goal, which is data analysis training through Learn with Pride, we are here together. And that's data blending in data analysis process or in Tableau. Now we talk about presenting data using stories. We have to understand how to tell story. A good data analyst is a good storyteller because you have to tell the story and put it together. After analyzing and bringing out your results, you have to put it in a proper way in which anybody that is reading the report will be very interested in getting to understand everything about your analysis. And this aspect is the data storytelling. Then creating and modifying worksheet is another thing. You have to understand how to modify and create worksheets. Then let's quickly look at Excel for data analytics. So when we talk about the Excel data analytics, I've mentioned earlier on, I say it's needed for data management. So in this aspect, you'll be learning different essential SQL commands, talking about the select function from and where conditions, other conditions, different commands. You've learned all of this that make up data management process. At the end of this training, you would have become proficient in SQL tools, understanding how to use group by, joins, subqueries, become a pro in using sorting, filtering commands in SQL. You would have masters most of the SQL most popular strings, the mathematical functions, the daytime functions, and all of this. You'd have understand how to enhance performance of database by using the view and indexes. You have understand how to increase your efficiency by learning the best practice while writing SQL queries. Then understand the relevant theoretical concepts, which cover all the necessary processes. When we talk about the business intelligence job interviews, then solid understanding of SQL. Then the last two is the Python. So Python is another great tool. In this case, you'll be learning how to use the Jupyter Notebook, which is more of a connection tool to access our Python. You then get to understand how to use different IDEs, talking about the Loopy, Pandan, and some other IDs. You get to understand how to work with numbers, strings, lists, define functions, simple flow control, and language features, reading and writing files, installing Pandas, script, Matplotlib, and all of that. Then, most importantly, at the end of the using Python, you'd have understand how to do data wrangling. When we talk data wrangling is a process of collecting data from the web source, data scraping, data wrangling. You understand all of this process. Then data visualization in Python. Now, you might be asking, at the end of the training itself, how do I get job? When I have the right skill, yes, it has been said that what is missing is the right skill. The jobs are there. Where exactly are the jobs? So you can get jobs through LinkedIn, Twitter, Indeed.com, Dentry.io, and all other places. Fiverr, Upwork, you can get different freelance jobs directly from this. Another different places. You can be working as a data analyst with Livingston, just picking up different data analysis projects. There are different places where you can pick up jobs. Talking about data analysis, you can't. You always see different jobs available. You can see yourself working even as a technical writer. Once you understand all these processes, you then get to be writing technical reviews on data analysis. Now, another question is this: do I need to have computer science background before I can pick up this training? So I will tell you categorically, no. You don't need to have a computer science background, because in this training is structured, is properly structured to help you become a pro in data analysis. Will take you from beginner stage down to the stage where you can pick up your first job within these 4 months. And just like my boss has mentioned, it's not you have to put your own part of work, but then in all of these processes, we would be here to help you, to guide you to get that skill that will push you into becoming a pro. So this is all for this. But then before I return back, I would want to share something quick on Power BI. So please, can we all confirm if you can see my screen? If you can see my screen, please drop yes on the chat box. Hello? Hello, are we together?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we are seeing your screen.
See?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay.
Yes.
1 minute. Oh, okay, good. All right, good. So this is what I'm sharing right now is the Power BI. Just like I said, Power BI is a great tool that is built on data. Is built on Microsoft Excel, and from what you can see here, so this is it might look intimidating in the first opening because probably you've not opened it before, you've not get to use it before. But just like it is to build any engine, it's the same process. Once you understand every bit of it, it's very easy to understand it within few weeks. Even with being here with us within the 1 month, I can tell you that once we take you through this through the journey, you would have become an expert on how to move around in this great tool. So for today, let's quickly see 1 or 2 on this. All right. Good. So from this right here is report view. Report view is just the view where we end up seeing all our reports and where we create our reports after the analysis process. This here is the data view. It's still empty currently. That's because we've not imported in any data. So once we bring in a data, we automatically become busy. So this is the data view where we can view our data. And this right here is the model view. Just like I mentioned earlier on, in the data analysis process, there will always be data modeling process where we get to create relationship between our data through modeling. But for the help of today's class, I'll just be using the automatic model. That's because this is just a quick scene. So for me to do that, I've gone to File, then go to Option, it will bring out this. Then on this directly, I can go to my data download. Then you can see it's enabled relationship, import relationship from data source on first load. Auto detects new relationship after data is loaded. So I click OK. So normally, if it's a proper analysis, I would have to uncheck that because it is part of my job as the data analyst to create the data model. It is part of my job to create the data model. But then, since this is just a short display, we would leave it this way. We want the tool to automatically create. We want the tool to automatically create the relationship for us. Now, since we have been able to do that, let's move straight into connecting to data. So to connect to data, you can see what we have there, get data. So once I click this, automatically, it would open up another window for me where I can get to bring in data. And now look at this. One good thing about data, about Power BI, I have opportunity to actually connect to different data sources, Excel format, this is spreadsheet. And normally now data analysis has gone beyond spreadsheets because now we are working on big data, a large database. So you have gone beyond spreadsheet. That's why Microsoft has built it on Excel that we know as the first grandfather of the analysis tool. So we have the text file, we have Excel, all of these are the kind of file that we can connect to. You see there are numerous number, so it goes down. So for today's class, we will be connecting to Excel file and another file, which is the text file. So I'll click on Excel, then I'll click on connect. So this opens up. Now, it automatically brings me to my backend, where I will then go ahead to search for the data I want to connect to. So I'm connecting to this customer data. It's a data that has the customer information of a company. So you can see right here. So what we have here, we have a minute. Good. Okay. So we have the sheet and we have, this is table and this is sheet. So it is always best practice to always connect to our table, because in sheet there might be some other unclean elements that are not really necessary for our analysis. So click on table. So this table here, then I click on you have download, you have load, transform, and scan stream. So the first thing for when you are to analyze in Power BI is a three-way process, which is the first thing you have to learn. We call it ETL process: extracting, transformation, and loading. So extracting is connecting to the data source, which is what I've done. So what the first thing I've done is I've done extraction process. I've connected to the data source. Now it is here. So the next thing we have to do what? Transform. I have to transform the data. And what is data transformation? In data transformation, we be cleaning the data, improve the format, change format, split, combine, whatever thing that is necessary that we have to do before we move into the modeling aspect. That's what we have to do. And that's why we call it ETL process. Extraction, after extraction is transformation before loading. So I have to click on transform data here. Once I click on that, automatically it brings me to the Power Query editor. And if you are familiar with Excel, you will know that we have what we call the query editor also in Excel. So this is the Power Query editor. So in the Power Query editor, we would have this is it. So we have the name. So I can do a lot of things here. But before we continue, I want to connect to another data. So how do I do that? I go to new source and I click on it. Now, this is another thing that makes Power BI more advanced than Excel. We can connect to different data sources at the same time. So we can work on different data sources at the same time. You can see what I've done. I've connected to another data, which is a text file. So you click on it. So these are two different sources. The first is the what? Excel file. And the second here is the what? A text file. Now, what we have to do now is to then get to perform the data transformation, which is data cleaning, all of that. So the first now to down to rename this, I can rename this to invoice. I can rename
you can't see your screen again now. You can't see the data you're working on.
1 minute. Let me unshare and share again. Stop sharing. All right. Now, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, good. So we have the master customer data and we have the invoice data. I have successfully changed the name of this to invoice. I can do the same thing for this. So it's a customer data. It has the customer information. I'll just change this to customer. Thank you. So then, next thing is to now try and see what are the things that can be changed in this data. What are the things, what are the transformation processes that we can perform on this data? Now, take a look. This is the first thing. We have invoice line ID, we have customer code, we have transaction ID, we have description. So that's the first thing you have to get to understand. Try and look at every column, one after the other, to see them. So we have the year, we have the month, we have the day, we have package type ID, quantity, we have sales, we have total dry items, we have total chiller items. So the first thing that we have to put in mind is this. Any data you are bringing in, the data type might actually be wrong. So you might have assigned a wrong data type to it. For example, in this case, look at the sales, for example. The sales here is recorded as O number, but then sales value cannot be O number. Sales, when we say sales, we are talking about something that should have currency with it. Am I correct? Hello, are we together? Hello.
Yeah,
We are together. Yes,
Yeah, good. Good. This should be more of
yes, we are together.
All right, good. So I will have to change this to fixed decimal number. Once I change this to fixed, select an existing column. Would you like to place the existing column or what is it? Let me see. There's something else somewhere. Okay, no. So I'll click on this to fix decimal number. Good. So you can see now it has changed it from the data type it was before. Now it has put it in fixed decimal number. In this case, we now have the currency along with it, and that's you see dollar there. That's because this data is from the United States. But then if it's a data from another source, for example, I would have actually changed it from here I'll show you probably once I close this, I'll show you where I would have changed it. But this is from US. That's why I didn't do any change in the region setting. Now, another thing is this. If you take a look, we have the year, we have the month, and we have the day. All of these can actually be merged together to form a single column. Do we agree? Hello?
Yeah, where were you?
Hi, we are here. We are here.
All right.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
can actually merge these three columns together to form a single column, which is the dates column. And that's one of the things that you have to know how to do. When talking about analysis, understand the one you have to put together, merging, the one you have to split. So let's say we want to merge this because it should be a single column, which is date. Now for the US format, it's always starting with month. After month, we have the day, after then followed by year. For every country, there is a format to their dates. And that's why when we are to even analyze, we have to set the date. Before we bring the data, we have to make sure we set the region properly. The country name has to be set before we even bring in data. Take, for example, you want to bring in the data from the Arab country that use right to left. They write from right to left. If you just input it directly and bring in it without having setting it properly, once you bring it in, it would show error instead of showing the data. So you have to set all these formats properly. Now let's do this. For me to combine this, I'll hold on to month. The next will be my day, then the year. Then once I do this, I will then go ahead to transform the data. So we have the transform here, we have add column. These two tabs, they do almost the same thing. Transform, you will see like everything that we have in transform are also in add column most times. But one thing that differentiates them is this. For transform, once you transform will override. Say for example, these three columns now, once I apply it on transform, it should override these three columns and return back my results. But if you are doing add column, when you perform it on add column will still it will leave these three columns and then produce a new result. In that case, you'll be having the old columns that you are merging and the new result appearing after the merging. So I want to do transform because I want to override this. I don't want to see this again. So I'll just click merge columns directly from there. Now this opens. So I have to set this. In what way do I want to merge? Custom. And what is the separator? Dash. Then the name, I have to change the name. So the name here is dates. And I click OK. Good. Now look at it. So there's an issue. So I think I have to redo this. I don't know this result, but I need to redo it. So, but then how do I take it out? You can see that this is not the right result. So for me to take this out, I'll just go to my apply steps and I will undo it. So instead of the normal undo that we do, which is Control Z, for Microsoft Power BI, it will be listing all the steps for us. All we have to do is to cancel it. So let me redo this. If there's something that we're wrong, well, let's redo this. Okay. Now go to merge, column, custom dash, and this. And 4 minutes. And there's something somewhere that let me see. Not too sure. Let me try and see this. Probably there's something that is still holding up aside the ones that I've clicked on. Okay. So let me do it again. Good. All right, good. Now take a look at it now. What do you notice? Date, time, year and month. It's now what? It's gone. It has been overwritten. And now we have just a single column, which is now what? Date. But then the date is not in the right data set. It's in ABC, and ABC means text. So this is a data, this data type here is text. So we have to change it to date. I'll just click on this ABC, then I'll pick date. You can see this, all of these are data type. We have the decimal number, fixed decimal number, whole number, percentage, data and time, date, time, so time zone, duration, text, true to false, which is Boolean, then binary. So I'll just click on dates. So now it has changed the data type properly to what I need it to be. Now let me see if there's any other thing I need to change here. Invoice, customer, transaction. So I think this is okay for what I needed to do, just for the quick thing I want to show. So let's take a look at the customer data. So for the customer data, we have the customer ID, we have the right, good. So we have the customer ID, we have the customer group, we have customer name, we have customer category name, we have primary contact, phone numbers, fax number, website. So a quick one. What I can quickly notice here that I will need to change the city province. Now, what do you notice? At this point, it is combined together. City province, they are together. And for our analysis, we have to separate them. City has to be a single column, province has to be a single column. So when it will help us to actually define a proper, the proper analysis when at the point of our analysis. So what do? I will just apply the split condition to this. So for me to split this, I'll just click on the column, then I'll go to my transform again because I want to override this. So I'll click on split column. Once I click on, it's now asking, in what way do I want to split this? By delimiter, by number of characters, by positions, by lowercase to uppercase to lowercase, by digits, by non-digits, and to digits. So it's by delimiter. And what is delimiter? What is separator? Open brackets, as you can see. So I'll put this. Then what else do? I can maintain every other one just for me to click on OK. So once I click OK, what you notice is it has splitted the column into two. Now we have this and this other one. So this is for city. So I can rename this to city. And this other one will be province. But one thing you should get to understand here is this province is not still placed currently, because we still have a closed bracket at the back of it. So we have to take this closed bracket out. And how do I do that? I can just do this by clicking on replace value. So once I click on replace value, it's asking me what value do I want to replace? Close brackets. So I will put close brackets here. And what do I want to use to replace it? Nothing. So I will not put anything here. I'll just go ahead to click on OK. So automatically it has now changed it. Now you now see this is where it's now OK. Excuse me. So this is I think this is okay for today for the analysis that I will need to quickly show. So I can leave this the way it is. But another thing is this. We have different columns here. We have customer ID, customer group, customer name, customer category name, primary contact, phone number, fax number, website URL, delivery method, city, and province. I don't need all of this column for my analysis. I don't need everything. There are some that are not necessary. Take for example, let's say all these if you look at this phone number down to let's say delivery method are not even necessary in the analysis I want to make. Depending on the objective though. Depending on the objective. So let's say I need to quickly remove some. I'll just go to home. Once I get to home, I can click on choose column. Here I can now select. I can select the ones I don't want. So let's say I don't need all of this. Okay. So I think this is okay. So the next thing is I click on OK. Now this is now perfect. I've worked on the invoice data and I've worked on custom data. So the next thing I do is what? I'll close and apply. Close and apply means when you close and apply, it automatically apply all the changes that we have applied on the Power Query editor. And now you can see it's loading. Can we all see my screen?
Yes.
All right, good. So
Yes.
you can see it's loading. It's trying to complete the to save the process. Now take a look. At the first instant when we started when we launched the tool, remember the data space was empty. But now what do you notice? We now have data. And if you look at this other end, we have two data here. We have customer data, and we have what? Invoice data. And again, if you go to model, there will now be a model. You can see. So a model has been created between the two tables. And just like I said model is basically the process of creating relationship between two or more tables. Now you are considering two tables here. But remember I've set the relationship to be automatic just for this class. In proper analysis process, you have to be the one to decide to put your table, to put your model. And in this case, we can have it in two schema. When it comes to Power BI, we talk about the Snowflake schema, or we talk about the star schema. And what you can see in this now is this. You can see that when I go on the line, you can see that customer ID is highlighted and customer code is highlighted in the invoice. So what he's saying is this, that what connects customers table to invoice data, invoice table is what? The customer, which is the same. That means the customer ID here is the same thing as the customer code in this case. And this is a connection. And this is an example of a snowflake. It looks like snake. So directly, since the model has been created, we can just go to report and see how reporting works. But this is just a simple demonstration, because when we get to the main analysis, like working on a rich data, you see there are more processes to this. We're talking about creating measures, calculated columns, writing DAX functions. So there are still a lot of processes before we even get to the reporting stage. But this is just a short space. So on this report, let's say we need to create a quick one to show the customers category, a chart showing the customer category with sales value. So I'll just go to customer here, I click on customer category, and I click on sales there. Now, if you look at this, let me increase my. All right. Now, what do you notice here? We have automatically created a table that shows what? The customer category against the sales value. Now, from this, we can see that we have customer store, this is recorded sales, we have corporate, this is recorded sales, gift store, novelty store, supermarket, and that's the recorded sales. I can sort this out to have it in descending order, so you can see. So top of the list here is novelty store. So this is saying that we recorded the highest sales from novelty store, and we have the more or less sales from corporate stuff. I can change this table now to a more beautiful chart. Let's say a stack bar chart, for example. Let me use this. No. Okay, so let's use a column chart. So this is better off, but then there are still some things that we can do to improve. Can I use this? Anyone? Let me use this. Okay. So this is better. So we can now apply formatting process on this to make it look more beautiful to the eye. So if I go to format here, I can the first thing I can do is actually change the name. So let's say I need to change the name here instead of what we have at the moment. We want to change the name to customers. Maybe let's say customer category by sales. So in this, I can also improve the way it look. So if I change this to white, for example, and I change this to black, let's see, yeah, so this is looking more beautiful. I can put this in central, so I centralize it. So this is more better. Now I can go back to this. Now, one thing is this, since these names have appeared, and the title already says customer category against sales, I can remove this title that I have here on the y-axis. So that's not what I need to remove. So I click drop down, then I go to my title here, and I remove it. Now, for anybody that's saying this, you can definitely see that this is, you can automatically see, even a layman will know that this region here is the customers category, and this is the sales value. So I can still remove this sales from here to make it more appealing to the eyes. As so I can enable the labels, data labels, to show each of the values in the bar. Then I go to my x-axis. I can remove this title. Good. So this is just a simple format. There are still some things I can do to it before, if it comes to the proper chart. So let's see one more. Let's create one more thing before we end this section. So let's say I need to create a data hierarchy. Data hierarchy will help me to navigate the data one after the other based on the particular date. So if you look at this, we have the dates already here, and there's a data hierarchy that is listed. So let's say I need to, let me put it in my slicer. So if I drop this in slicer, sorry, we're almost done with this part. Also want to show a few things as well. You get to really understand how this whole thing works. Right, good. So these are slicer. This slicer, let's populate it to our year, for example. If I put this as year, now you can see what we have. So it's currently in this format. I can change it to between or drop down. Let's just drop down. Drop down, good. All right. So for this now, this is for general year. Let's say we need to see just for 2018. Once I click on 2018, you can see that it has changed. If I need to see just 2019, I just click on it, it has changed. 2020, it will just report 2020. 2021, you can see. So all of this is actually a good tool to use in time of presentation. It helps the end user to quickly navigate the final reports in our visualization. So this slider, for example, will help us to quickly navigate and see how things work in our final report. You can see I can move directly to any of the year through my slicer. Sorry. All right. So one more thing that let's try and create one last thing before we end this section. So let's say we create a table to show the sales value. Let's say for months, we have brought out the months, and let's say we have the sales value, corresponding sales value in the same table. Now in this table, we have the months with their respective sales value. The month with the respective sales value. All right, good. So but one thing about the slicer will automatically connect to everything. So at every point that you click on the slicer, it connects to everything together. Everything will show. If I need to see just 2018, once I click on 2019, automatically this will change to 2019. So on this now, let's assume we need to see the sales change. That's the sales percent change in the month. The sales percent change over the month. So I can create a quick measure. So in this case, if, for example, if you are doing a proper analysis or a standard analysis, we would have to write, there will be a time that we will have to write DAX function to create some of these things that we want to do using the quick measure. But in this case, let's click on quick measure. So 1 minute. Okay. So on quick measure, I click on what do I want? I need the sales. So let's say I need to create the average or the year-to-year dates. So I click on year-to-year dates. Now, what is my base value? My base value here will be the sales value. So I can move the sales value into the base value. Then what will be my dates? The dates will be my date calendar. Just drop it there. Then what else do I do? Okay. So I click on OK. Once I click on OK, automatically, what to return back will be the year over. Let's make it year over year, actually. Year over year percentage change. Okay, so this is it right here. And I click on OK. Now take a look at this. A new measure has been created, year over year. That sales year over year change. This will show the change in our sales value. You can see how our sales improve or decline over the years through this measure. So let's put this measure into our table and see the effects. So I've dropped here. Now, from what you notice here, for the year, let me drop this up and compare it. So this is year 2019, according to our slicer. For the year 2019, this is practically telling us that what? Our sales increase in January. You can see now from January 20 at the end of the month or at the end of January 2019, the percent of our sales was 7.92%. But then what happens? There was an increase in the sales, in the change in the percentage of sales by 25.01%. In March, there was a decrease. You can see it's minus 0.1. Then it rises again when we get to May, or April rather. You can see we have May, like that, July, August. So it goes down to December. If you go down again and you pick another year, it will automatically change the percent change again. Now, what do you notice there? We can tell that there was an increase in sales value between the month January and February. Then there was a decrease in our sales value when we at the third month, then there was an increase again at the fourth, which is April. Then there was a great loss in sales when we got to May. And you could see June, an increase again. Let's see 2021 and check. So for 2021, what do you notice there? We have just sales recorded for January to May. And you can see all of the sales year-to-year change in sales value. So all of these metrics in general is what guides every business recommendation. You need all of these metrics to solve business problems, to improve processes, to forecast, to recommend, and to improve anything, the process, talking about the process, the returns, the productivity. You need all of these metrics. And this is guided by analysis. So as a data analyst, you need to understand all of these processes. You can see we have been able to go through few processes of analysis using Power BI. We started from extraction, we moved to transformation, we saw how we end up loading it. We saw a few things about how data model works. I have seen a few things on reporting. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you join the training, you are getting a lot more. In this 4 months, you would have acquired the proper skill that would put you in that space where you can compete with people that have been in this journey. Yes, one good thing about tech job is experience is the list of the things that is always look at that would is the list of the things that a recruiter will ask you first. The first thing is the skill. Are you skilled? Do you have the necessary skill? Once you have it and you can defend it, you don't have any problem with it. That's why you are here. We'll put you in that space, we'll give you the necessary skill within this few months, and by the end of the month, by the end of the training, you would have understand all the necessary process around data analysis and understanding how to use these 4 major tools, which is Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and Python perfectly. Then you can keep building on this, and I can guarantee you will surely get that good offer. Just like I mentioned earlier on, one of our students got a good job last month. So you are in the right hand. Thank you for listening. I will just return back to the training. Mr. King, are you there?
Yes. Thanks, Samuel, for that. Please, if you have any question, you can raise your hand, and I'll be more than happy to call you and we'll answer that question. So if you have any questions based on the training, the presentation, any question at all, please kindly raise your hand and I'll be calling you, or you can drop your message on the chat as well. So the training will be starting on the 2nd of February. It's going to be twice a week. That'll be on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. The time is 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time, both on Thursdays and both on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. As I said, there's a 40% discount till Wednesday. So if you want to take advantage of that, and also after the 40% discount, it's not like everything is due. Only half payment is required to start, and the other half can be paid within 4 to 6 weeks after starting the course. So yeah, let me see whether there's a question on the chat and I'll answer that. Well, please feel free. I'm sure one of the reasons why you're on this call is to clarify your doubt, to ask questions. So don't be shy to raise your hand and ask questions. You know, we're all here to learn. So, and we can only learn by, rubbing minds together. So, Walter, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good evening. Thank you for the presentation and giving us insight. I have a MacBook. I just want to find out if I need a Windows for the course.
Samuel, can the apps work on Mac?
Okay, yes. All the apps can work on Mac, but one thing is for the Microsoft Power BI, you would have to actually download a third-party app that would host the Power BI, because it's a Microsoft, it's a window tool, so you can just use it directly with Mac without hosting it on the third party app. But that's not a problem. Once you come on board, I'll put you through on how to have all the tools that you need on your system.
All right, thank you.
And one thing is, on your Mac, you know, you can actually download Windows on your Mac. If that will make life easier, you can do that as well. I'm just trying to paste some people are asking for the recording. I'm just trying to paste we have a WhatsApp group. I'm trying to paste the WhatsApp group on the chat. So if you want the video, you can join the WhatsApp group, and because the video will be pasted, will be sent to that WhatsApp group, or you can follow us on YouTube. It will be on the YouTube channel as well. It will be made public on the YouTube channel. So just search for Learn with Pride on the YouTube channel. 1 second, let me quickly get the link and I will share it on the chat. I'll share my screen back. Give me 1 second. All right, let me share my screen. So I'm going to send the WhatsApp group on the chat now. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, you can join with that link, and the recording will be pasted on there. Also, you can check the recording will be made available on our YouTube channel as well. If you can search for Learn with Pride. Yes, you get it from there as well. Kingsley, do you want to unmute?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My question is, this Power BI and Tableau, we went straight to. I was thinking maybe we'll go back to Excel, because is there any way we'll be doing data analysis?
You are breaking up badly.
Without having inside of Excel? That's my question. Power BI and Tableau. My question: analysis without having an idea of Excel.
Okay. One thing is this, Mr. Kingsley. So
yeah, with you.
Yeah, good evening. So Power BI itself is actually built on Excel. So, but then we didn't list Excel as part of what you'll be learning, but practically in the course of this training, you will be going into Excel, going out, going in, going out, going in. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? So there's no way.
Yes.
So you will definitely see a bit of Excel and how some things work in Excel as well. Just like I said earlier on, we have same way we have the pivot table, the VLOOKUP table in in Excel. All these things are the same thing that we have on Power BI. The Power Query editor that we have, it works same way. The same DAX function that is in Excel works same way on the Power BI. But one thing that differentiates the Power BI and Excel is this. Excel is a spreadsheet, but Power BI, it's a more advanced engine that enables us to connect to more data sources. and to actually work on more big data. We are now in the era of big data analysis. So we have gone beyond spreadsheet, which is just Excel. So that's the reason.
All right. Then how do I get the Power BI? Is this something I can download?
Yeah, definitely you can download it. So for Power BI, we have the there's Power BI service, there's Power BI desktop, and there's Power BI mobile. So for this training, we'll be using the Power BI desktop, which is the free version. But but the whole thing connects together. The main analysis happens on Power BI desktop. Why, if you want to connect to your team, maybe share a report to your team, then you have to have a paid version, which is the Power BI service. Then for the Power BI mobile, that is just for you to view any reports. You can't do anything on it. It's an app on your phone that you can just use to view your reports. So that's it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Kingsley. Demilade, do you want to unmute yourself, please?
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, my question is with regards to the registration. I want to register with my wife, and with this 40% discount, is there any other rebate attached to this?
Do you want to? Can you see this? Can you see the number
Okay,
on your screen?
Okay, we are two.
Yeah.
And want to register for this program.
I understand.
So my question is,
so what I can do for you is, right? And
yes.
this is applicable to everyone as well. If you enroll and you bring someone else in, I'll give you additional 5% off.
Wow.
So that is what I can do.
Okay, the 5%, is it only for one or for both?
It will be for one. So that means you are getting 5% for bringing your partner in. So if your partner brings someone else as well, she's going to get 5%.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, you can just chat me up on that number on the screen.
All right.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. If anyone still have any question to ask, please kindly raise your hand and I will call you. While you're doing that, I'm just going through the messages on the chat. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. Well, that was too fast. Hope you will slow down a bit so that we can be able to catch up with your pace. Yes, this is just to showcase what you can learn. It's not an actual training. Actual training will not be this fast, but it's just for you to get the whole idea of the picture, and we are working to time as well. So that is why it's a bit fast, but don't worry. During the training, it's not going to be that fast. You can easily catch up as well. Can the payment be done on 2 installments, please? Yes. Just that half payment is required to start. That's all. Adriel, I understand this is not Excel. However, my question is, how can I get this tool or app? And is it useful for an HR personnel? Samuel, do you want to answer that?
All right. So, Mr. Adriel, good evening. So, yes, you can get the tool or app or wherever. You can get everything once you connect. We would part of the process or part of the training is installing every necessary tool, assisting you installing all the necessary tool on your system. Then about the HR personnel. So just like I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, I said that data is what powers everything that we do. The human resource industry is one industry that even works with a whole lot of data, talking about employers' data, employees' data, different data. So the main thing is this: once you are in that space that you have to analyze data to improve a process, you are in the right place. And I'm learning data analysis is one good skill or one skill that is needed for you to improve your career in any of the industry. You can do customer evaluation, different thing, customer evaluation as an HR expert using data analysis. You can do a whole lot of analysis. I don't know if you understand my point, Mr. Ejiro. Are you there?
I'm not sure whether it's still online, but that's fine. While you are still there, the next question, what kind of system? Yeah, what kind of system are we expected to have for this program? What about the applications? That's from Demilade. Okay, I think.
What kind of app are we expected to have? For
what
this
kind of
program?
system? What kind of system?
Oh, okay, so a system with a Windows system with let's say 8 gig RAM would definitely work fine. Any system with 8 gig RAM above would definitely work fine for this. All right.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. So the main thing is the RAM. Once the RAM is 8 gig above, you are good to go.
Thank you. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, the recording will be provided on the WhatsApp group, and you can as well find it on the YouTube channel. All right. Is there any, that's all on the group chat? Any other question from anyone before we call it a day? And as I said, it's gonna be starting on the 2nd of February. That'll be on a Thursday, this coming Thursday, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. So if you are joining from Nigeria, that will be 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Nigerian time. All right. If you don't have any question now, but if you remind, probably later on you remember something, just send a WhatsApp message to that number, and I'll be more than welcome to answer all questions. All right. So that's where we'll be stopping for today. Thank you, everyone. If there's no other question, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you on the journey. Thanks.